You stare at the glowing monitor. The chart aligns perfectly with your strategy. The setup is flawless. Your finger rests heavily on the left mouse button. You know you should click buy, but you wait, just for a second, just to be absolutely sure the market isn't going to reverse the moment you enter. A split second later, the price violently spikes upward. The opportunity vanishes. You missed it. You let out a frustrated sigh, convinced that you were simply a moment too slow, a victim of bad timing or a lagging internet connection. But the real answer is far stranger and much deeper. You did not just miss a trade, you were hunted. The financial market is no longer a localized auction house where humans negotiate prices. It is a highly optimized, heavily weaponized digital ecosystem. And in this ecosystem, you are not competing against other traders sitting in ergonomic chairs. You are competing against silicon. You are stepping into the hunting grounds of algorithmic supercomputers. These machines do not just execute orders faster than you. They are mathematically designed to exploit the exact biological delay that occurs in your brain when you hesitate. They feed on your uncertainty. To understand how you are being hunted, you must first understand the biology of your own hesitation. When you look at a stock chart, you are asking your brain to process a massive amount of abstract, high-velocity data. Your eyes absorb the flickering green and red pixels. That visual data travels to your visual cortex at the back of your head. From there, it is sent to your prefrontal cortex, the logical, analytical center of your brain, to evaluate the risk and reward. This process takes time. Human reaction time to a simple visual stimulus is roughly 250 milliseconds, a quarter of a second. In the natural world, 250 milliseconds is incredibly fast. It is fast enough to dodge a falling rock or catch a thrown object. But in the modern financial market, 250 milliseconds is a lifetime. It is an eternity. While your brain is spending 250 milliseconds just registering that a breakout is happening, a high-frequency trading algorithm, a supercomputer designed to execute thousands of trades per second, has already analyzed the order book, bought the asset, watched the price rise, and sold it back to the market for a microscopic profit. They operate in microseconds. A microsecond is 1/1,000,000th of a second. You cannot perceive a microsecond. Your brain is entirely blind to this dimension of time. Yet the speed advantage is only the most basic tool in the algorithm's arsenal. The true danger lies in how these supercomputers actively trigger your biological hesitation. Consider the OODA loop, a strategic framework developed by military strategist John Boyd. OODA stands for observe, orient, decide, and act. It explains how humans process information in combat or high-stakes environments. You observe the chart, you orient yourself to the trend, you decide to buy, you act by clicking the mouse. To win a conflict, Boyd argued that you must get inside your opponent's OODA loop. You must move so quickly and unpredictably that their brain is forced to constantly restart the observe and orient phases. They become paralyzed. They hesitate. Wall Street algorithms are explicitly programmed to get inside your OODA loop. They achieve this through tactics like quote stuffing and spoofing. In plain English, quote stuffing is when an algorithm floods the market with thousands of fake buy and sell orders, only to cancel them a millisecond later. To the algorithm, this is just routine data transmission, but to your human eyes, it manifests as sudden, aggressive flickering on the order book. The price rapidly twitches up and down. The tape speeds up. Your visual cortex registers this sudden chaos. Your amygdala, the ancient threat-detecting center of your brain, interprets this rapid movement as danger. It sounds an alarm. Suddenly, your prefrontal cortex is flooded with stress hormones. The logical part of your brain is interrupted. Your OODA loop is broken. You observe the chaos. You fail to orient. You cannot decide. You hesitate. This is the exact moment the trap closes. The supercomputers do not just cause your hesitation, they measure it. In the field of market microstructure theory, pioneered by researchers like Maureen O'Hara, we learned that the market is not just a series of prices, but a continuous flow of information revealed through the speed and size of orders. Retail traders, humans, leave a very specific statistical footprint when they hesitate. When a major price level is breached, human traders often pause. The order flow momentarily dries up. The volume profile thins out. The algorithms detect this microscopic pause in the data. They recognize the biological signature of human hesitation. When the machine senses that human traders are trapped in a state of indecision, it strikes. It rapidly consumes all available liquidity on one side of the market, forcing the price violently in the direction of maximum pain. Why does your brain fall for this every single time? Why is hesitation so deeply hardwired into your system? The answer lies in prospect theory, the groundbreaking behavioral finance model developed by psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. Prospect theory proves that humans do not process financial decisions rationally. We do not weigh gains and losses equally. Instead, human beings suffer from severe loss aversion. The psychological pain of losing $100 is neurologically twice as intense as the pleasure of making $100. When you are hovering your finger over the buy button, you are not just calculating probability. Your brain is simulating the emotional pain of a potential loss. This simulation requires massive cognitive bandwidth. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio calls this the somatic marker hypothesis. Before you even make a logical choice, your body generates a physical, emotional feeling associated with the anticipated outcome. You feel a slight tightening in your chest, a drop in your stomach. Your brain uses these physical feelings to guide your decision. It is an evolutionary defense mechanism designed to keep you alive in the wilderness. If a rustling bush gives you a bad feeling, you don't investigate it. You hesitate and you survive. But in the market, this ancient survival mechanism is hijacked. The algorithm does not have an amygdala. It does not secrete cortisol. It does not feel the phantom pain of a simulated loss. It is entirely free from the somatic marker hypothesis. It simply calculates expected value based on historical tick data and executes without remorse. This creates a terrifying counterintuitive twist. The very biological system designed to keep you safe from harm is exactly what makes you vulnerable to digital predators. Your attempt to be careful, to be sure, to wait for confirmation, is the exact behavior the algorithms are hunting. The more you think, the more predictable your data footprint becomes. When you finally overcome your hesitation, when the chart moves so far in your intended direction that the fear of missing out overrides your fear of loss, you finally click the button. But by the time your order reaches the exchange, the algorithm has already bought the asset at the lower price and is now happily selling it to you at the top. You are providing the exit liquidity for a machine that anticipated your biology. So how do you survive? You cannot outthink the supercomputer. You cannot outreact a machine operating in microseconds. Attempting to compete on speed or intuition is a guaranteed path to financial ruin. To survive, you must remove your biology from the moment of execution. You must bridge the gap between human strategy and algorithmic discipline. This means acknowledging your biological limitations. You must accept that your brain is fundamentally ill-equipped to make high-stakes, high-speed decisions in a chaotic adversarial environment. The solution is not to try harder, or focus more, or trust your gut. The solution is automation of intent. You must make all of your decisions before the market opens. You must build a rigid mathematical framework for your trading strategy. You must define your exact entry criteria, your exact stop loss, and your exact take profit levels when the market is closed, when your cortisol levels are flat, and when your prefrontal cortex is fully in control. When the market opens, you are no longer a decision maker. You are merely an executor of a pre-written script. If the setup appears, you do not think. You do not evaluate. You do not check your gut feeling. You execute the plan, you place the order, and you immediately place the automated stop loss and take profit orders alongside it. By preloading your decisions, you eliminate the OODA loop in the moment of action. You deny the algorithm the biological hesitation it needs to detect your presence. You become a ghost in the machine. Trading is not a test of intelligence, it is a test of biological suppression. The market is a mirror reflecting the deepest, most ancient flaws in human evolution. It punishes those who rely on instinct, and it rewards those who can engineer cold, calculated discipline. The next time you stare at the glowing monitor, remember what is watching you back. Remember the supercomputers waiting in the dark space between milliseconds. Do not rely on how you feel. Do not let your ancient brain dictate your modern survival, because the moment you hesitate, the moment you wait just 1 second to be absolutely sure, the price will jump, the opportunity will vanish, and you will become prey.